There we have the primary school children of Paramakatoi Primary School singing the first stanza of the national anthem in our Patamuna language, the vibrant language that we practice even onto at this present second minute and the hour. Let's move on to national pledge. The audience now, we have to repeat the national pledge, please.
I pledge myself to honor always the flag of Guyana, and to be loyal to my country, to be obedient to the laws of Guyana, to love my fellow citizens, and to dedicate my energies towards the happiness and prosperity of Guyana.
Okay, you're gonna have remain standing. We're gonna have the Patamuna prayer by our mother, one of our hard-working matriarch of the village, Mother Ruth Waite in Patamuna.
Beberapa baik nawang cita mama, para munayau, kalau baik mayer yak po yang mara, nela beru para mara yang cari kamu ya. Nak itu tinggal kangen na serbe kupucau yang in your plan. Pina yek kupumang mara cita, kuya kupupraya kumang under this president. Na ibu nak Bekerja orang yang sini kupasang kau ini. Nyawa diri topel semua. Yense, kalau baik, yetarse. Nyawa mana wasisa. Ini baik nyawa situ saya ibu praman deh. Desak nyawa mana raja. Mula kasar maku amar manda Lord Jesus. Ya putih se. Ya berani pun. Ya lagi change pak. Nyawa prepare manok hai semua orang nak dia kupai biasanya ponarope mereka katakan nyawa pasang saya katakan kapungan ne orang kemana pasang ya ada tunggu bukan kupai ya ada mereka katakan cuma saya kait pun kalau pekan cuma saya pe saya kalau amat pe ya ada ya kamana pe tu pray masin be pray blessing Nutanaite, Teria Sarate, about Lord Jesus, more by Koipun, Waku days, man. Now, presidency, Purimaka, understanding is a peer tope, wisdom is a peer tope, bless him, Lord, Teria Sara, more by Yakmongoniam ministers, and Yakmongoniam, Mura Yakmok, Rokmasang, Chamo Ponaro Pinara, Yakamavia, about Koipun. Inane mucida Paramakatoi yang ipure masa petawara nyane dicet ya sera cece ya koka cara nak netop biasa ya rawamde for the benefit of the people wapra cik nak pila topeto wesi mara nak ya tawara jauh nyawara kalau pe ya sera apa kau pun tu biagen go kaya amuci sekejap jauh ini.
Please have your seats. First of all, I want to recognize the members of cabinet. Of course, Nancy here, Eggy, Mr. Egbert Field, the functionaries of government, our men and women in uniform, residents, leaders from this community, but more importantly, the children, the future, the ones who inherit this new transformative Paramakatoi and Region 8. What a remarkable day today is in the life of these children. And they will be growing up in an environment that is very, very different from the one they inherited. But what is important as you grow up in this new environment is to take forward with you the cultural heritage that you came from. And I want to commend all those who are involved in ensuring the cultural heritage of these communities are kept with our children, and we should applaud that. Because in everything we did this morning, I saw a great effort to ensure the cultural reflection. You know, coming in to Region 8 generally, but here in Paramakatoi, one cannot help but to recognize the breathtaking tapestry of the skies, the forests, the mountains that surround us. You cannot help but gaze into the lush green blanket of the Pacaraima Mountains. You cannot help sitting and feeling the cool breeze, and most importantly, the beautiful people. I sit there and I said to myself, living here must be a special charm, but not without its difficulties. But those difficulties are now meant for us to overcome in this new era. As I looked on my left, the beautiful new Airstrip is there. And as I look on my right, beautiful concrete road is there. I remember coming to this village many times before. And for one to understand how important these investments are for this community, it is not only about connectivity, it is about the opportunity now to build out your economy. It is the little children who now can go to school in rainfall on a concrete road. It is about the pensioners who now can have greater access. And I thought today, given the massive investment that we have made here in roads, concrete roads, that we should have done the job of commissioning the road network here also. Because it is easy for someone to sit in Georgetown and speak about the development of Region 8, Paramakatoi here today, and behave as if they're experts without understanding the complexity. It's not only, and I see our former vice chair, here also, and I want us to applaud him for the work, because they were all part of this job and they continue in service. But to appreciate the complexity of project planning, project management, project delivery, it is only then that you can understand the cost structure associated with these investments. And if one look at purely an economic model that look at rate of return on investment, then you will never make these investments. But when you look at the social benefit and the economic opportunity that comes with this investment, then you understand that for us to achieve the full potential of the people of Paramakatoi, the people of Region 8, these investments are critical and key. And you, I want to say to you today, you can rely on the People's Progressive Party civic government to continue to make these investments for you and your community. These investments will make it easier. And I'm going to look forward to see how the education sector is going to respond to this investment. Because they always say that part of the cost is the state of the airstrip. that affect their maintenance. Well, today you have a brand new airstrip. Let us see what you will now see. And we're giving them enough time to adjust their costs, because we will not just sit by. We will not just sit by and not allow the benefit of these cost savings to be transferred to the people. Because we want, and you will know, we will know by tomorrow which one of the services will announce a reduction in the cost coming to Paramakatoi. Let's see. Because our investment must lead to benefit to the people.
Yes, because they're exploiting us, President, right now.
I'm sure the camera caught that.
You're overpaying.
Now I want to say
and even passenger,
that we are not sitting idly by and just waiting. It is important, just as people call upon us to get more airlift to come into the country to reduce the costs, people are also calling upon the government to make strategic investment to reduce the cost of moving people, goods and services. Not to compete, but to ensure that people benefit throughout the process of development. I started by speaking about Paramakatoi pristine environment, about your culture, about your ecotourism potential, about your cultural heritage. And this region has immense potential and possibility in tourism. But it is time we convert immense possibility into reality. And I have watched a young lady in this region who is trained in tourism, who has advocated for tourism. I've watched her work. And Luana Augustus, I want to say to you today that this individual will be the tourism coordinator of this region. She will be appointed to work to build the tourism product, to market the tourism product, and to create tourism hubs across this region. Because part of the orange economy is the building out of our tourism sector. And we are going to support, through the Guyana Development Bank, investment in agro-businesses and tourism here in this region. That brings me to the second plank of the development. Now that we have the interconnectivity among our road network, we can now travel from Cato to Paramakatoi, an important road link. The integration of Region 9 and 8. The potential of growing carrots and onions in Paramakatoi is real. We must now move to a commercial project between Cato and Paramakatoi. The potential is even there for potatoes. With the technology of solar freezers and containerized solar cold storage, we can now have value creation on this product right here that reduces the cost of transport and increase the shelf life. That is why in Cato, Paramakatoi, within the next 3 months, the Ministry of Agriculture must bring in the specialists and come up with a full-fledged plan to commercialize these high-value crops that we're going to support here in this region, involving young people and women. Because the infrastructure that we are building must lead to the economic expansion and the creation of new opportunities. You know, it went by very quietly. But because of the model that we developed in building the roads in the hinterland, we have trained almost 2,000 persons in the hinterland communities across this country in construction. And last year, for most of last year, we've been able to employ almost 1,500 persons on a permanent basis building roads across this region. And the contractor building here would have invested about $2 million in a quarry. That's $400 million, from what I'm told. And I'm pleased to say that the contractor has entered into an agreement that for the next 5 years, or for 5 years, he will manage the quarry with the people, training the people in the management and operations of the quarry. And in 5 years, the quarry will be handed over to the people of this area. Not only training, but handing over the facilities in 5 years. This is the type of partnership that are long-lasting, the type of partnership that involves the private sector, government, and the people. And it's the same partnership we want in the aviation sector, that when we invest and we build out, the people must feel the impact on that investment on their pockets. When we remove VAT, that the last government, the APNU AFC placed on hinterland travel, it is this government that removed that VAT, and we want that benefit to the people. When the price of fuel went up internationally, we remove all taxes on fuel so that the cost will not be passed on to you. Those are the quiet things that we do to benefit the people of these regions. So my friends, the Paramakatoi barrier to development has always been isolation because of access. Isolated by terrain, hemmed in by mountains, and separated from reliable river transport. Paramakatoi has always been, by geography, a place apart. There are no great highways threading through these hills, no easily navigable rivers that delivers goods, and people with the regularity that communities in other parts of Guyana enjoy. Instead, for far too long, our people here have relied on difficult overland trails and air travel. And that is what we are fixing. Today, as we approach the runway, one of our most senior pilots in Guyana, Ramjad, an A-class pilot, looking ahead on the runway, was broad in smile. And as he landed, and we taxied to come to the parking position, he turned around and he said to me, "This is classic. This is classic." That was the initial reaction from one of our most senior pilots. Colonel in the Army, Director of National Intelligence, who navigated these terrains all his life, looked across and said, "I never imagined this day." I will say to you, just as we never imagined, be convinced that we will also celebrate the day when Paramakatoi, Kato, and Region 8 welcome tourists and tourism on a regular basis. when you will grow and produce food that will be integrated in the supply system of this region and in the supply system of Guyana. Our regional chair, I want to thank you and say to you that you preside in this region in a remarkable time on the foundation that has been built. Let us not be carried away by fanciful, wishful thinking, not grounded in development, but grounded in self-interest. This is a government that has stood by you and the people of our hinterland in the rainy seasons, in the dry seasons, and in the season of sunshine. We will not waver. I can assure you, we will not waver. I want to recognize Pauline, remarkable champion for our indigenous people. And in the spirit of the People's Progressive Party, passing on to the next generation of champions, Sarah Brown, the new Minister of Environment Affairs. From generation to generation, we pass the baton of leadership. Luana, Sherianne, all these young people, our chairs. I just announced a major portfolio by one of yours. Let us not take these things for granted. When someone told me that last night there was a political operative going around announcing to people, let's not come to this activity. What are you doing? Look at this today. Defiant. Defiant in the interest of development. Defiant in the interest of your region, of your community. And that is what is important. We are celebrating you today in this Airstrip. We are your humble servants that was able to work with you in delivering this. This is yours. This is your community. This belongs to you, the people. No one else. We are just pleased and humble to be the agent under the command of God, basically. Because if you believe in the scriptures, you know our authorities are blessed. We have every intention to utilize this blessing of service granted to us by the love of the people to make a remarkable difference in your lives here and in every Guyanese life wherever they reside. You know, you saw the investment between 2015 and 2020 in your region. The total sum of your investment was well short of $10 billion. We've invested close to $40 billion in this region in the last 5 years. That must tell you something. That must tell you that we're committed to you. That must tell you that regardless of the narrative that is being fed sometimes, that we invest because we care. We invest because we believe. And that is the guiding feature of this government. Not only this airstrip that will help health services, but investment in education. If you look at the investment in education, the investment in transport, in roads, the investment in education is about $3.6 billion. 10 new schools built across the region. 28 plus school repaired, expanded or enhanced. The Paramakatoi dormitory, Monkey Mountain Dorm. The Because We Care grant that we brought back that gave you almost $1 billion, benefiting more than 4,300 children. More than $2.14 billion investment in health. Almost $700 million of investment in water. Almost $900 million investment in energy. And Marine Affairs, close to $3 billion. And we're going to ramp up the investment in tourism and agriculture that over the last 5 years sit at close to $400 million. Investment in mining and forestry, almost $700 million. And guess what? We even invested in this region to give you modern firefighting equipment in central areas. Every aspect of change and transformation at a national level is being given to you here in these communities. So my friends, it is important for us to understand that this magnificent airstrip, newly reconstructed and expanded, is a bridge. A bridge from isolation to opportunity. A bridge from quiet potential to real progress. This airstrip will set the people of Paramakatoi and the people of Region 8 on a new trajectory. I want you to ask yourselves, what does reliable air connectivity mean for Paramakatoi? Does this simply mean a plane or more planes can land more often? No. It means families can stay connected. It means medical evacuations are no longer a gamble with destiny. It means goods, fresh goods, construction material, learning supplies can be taken in and brought out. Now you may ask yourselves, why ecotourism? Why now? And the answer is because the world is changing. More and more travelers seek experiences that immerse them in nature without destroying it. They want authentic cultural encounters. They want trails less traveled, wildlife unseen, streams untouched, and biodiversity never before seen. They want sustainability, not exploitation, and Paramakatoi has all of that and more. But to turn this potential into real economic benefit for our people, we must first overcome the logistical barriers that have held us back. So what does this new airstrip mean from the economic potential of this area? It means larger aircraft can bring more visitors more regularly. You can land at any time. It means tour operators can plan year-round itineraries. It means local entrepreneurs can build eco-lodges, guide trekking service, craft markets, cultural centers, all anchored in a dependable transportation link. It means jobs, it means income, it means prosperity rooted in the preservation of nature, not its depletion. And so, what does the airstrip truly make possible? It makes possible greater inclusion and improved goods and services at a better cost. Why should a bag of cement, a gallon of fuel, or a box of medicine cost enormously more here than it must? Why should isolation translate into hardship? With improved air access, the answer changes. The airstrip therefore will ensure that the people of Paramakatoi are no longer punished by geography, but empowered by connectivity. But you might ask whether it isn't expensive to build and maintain an airstrip in such a remote place. And yes, it is. But let us ask another question. How expensive it is to leave our people isolated, to limit their opportunity, to send our youth away because opportunities here are out of reach. That is the cost we are going to invest in to ensure, just like we give you under the scholarship program, the opportunity to get a degree here, the opportunity for a teacher to be trained here, for a nurse to be trained. We want every economic and social opportunity to be given to you, and we're going to make that investment. We do not invest in infrastructure because it is easy. We invest because it is necessary. We invest because every community, no matter how remote, deserves access to the lifeblood of connectivity and commerce. We invest because no community should be left behind in our national journey. And so, this People's Progressive Party civic government is committed to ensuring that all communities, particularly isolated hinterland communities like Paramakatoi, are brought into the mainstream of our national economy. We do not see distance as a disadvantage. We see it as an opportunity for greater inclusion and enhanced opportunity. But I also want to ask yourselves a much broader question. I want you to ask yourselves, what kind of Guyana we want to build? Do we want a Guyana where only the easy-to-reach places prosper? Or do we want a Guyana where remote communities, rich in culture and natural beauty, also share in the benefits of development and connectivity? A Guyana where no child's future is constrained by the fact that they were born in a distant corner of the land? I know the answer, and that is why we're here celebrating this achievement. But let us not rest on this milestone alone. This airstrip is part of a broader vision. It fits within a strategic plan to transform Guyana's hinterland into vibrant contributors to our national story, without sacrificing the very qualities that make the hinterland so unique. This is why we're investing in better health facilities, better and improved schools, providing improved water, supporting small businesses and cultural enterprise. None of these efforts stand alone. They're connected, interwoven, driven by the belief that a modern nation is strongest when every part of it thrives. And this airstrip is both a symbol and an instrument of that unity. So let us therefore celebrate this morning, not because the job is done, but because a new chapter has begun. A chapter that says to future generation, here is opportunity, here is access, here at last is your runway to a future you helped to build. And let me close with this thought, because it is at the heart of why we invest in places like Paramakatoi. How bold are our dreams if we are not willing to connect every corner of our land? How deep is our love for Guyana if we do not invest in the people who steward these mountains and forests? How great can our nation be if we allow some of our greatest treasures to remain untapped simply because they are remote? Today, we chose inclusion. Today, we chose opportunity. Today, we chose Paramakatoi, not just for what it is today, but for what it will become tomorrow. And we ask you in Paramakatoi to also invest in the People's Progressive Party Civic, to also partner with the People's Progressive Party Civic. You have seen how we stayed connected to you. You have seen how we stayed committed to you. You have seen how we have always stand with you, regardless of what. It is time Paramakatoi build a strong, reliable, trustworthy relationship with the People's Progressive Party Civic in a comprehensive way. We have not wavered from your side. We have never wavered from your side. We have never played games with you and your development. We have always stood true with you and for you. Invest completely in the People's Progressive Party Civic. Do not play games with your future. And I'm saying this to you at a time when we are 5 years away from an next election. Because I want this to be a culture. I want this to be a habit. Not an occasion. Not an occasion. It must be a culture and a habit. A habit to support a government that has always supported and invested in you. And that is the People's Progressive Party Civic Government. But before I take my leave, I know that some of you are concerned about development along our western frontier. And those concerns are entirely understandable. The situation in Venezuela remains fluid. Events there are still unfolding, and it's precisely because of that uncertainty that certain calls and demands made upon my government are premature. We've made it very clear that this is a government that supports democracy, the rule of law, and every effort to crush criminal networks. Because criminality destroys families and communities. There is no place for gold smuggling and drug smuggling in our society and our world. And those who are involved in these illicit criminal activities find innovative way of presenting themselves as the custodian of truth. They find innovative ways of promoting themselves among people as messiahs. That is why we must be careful. That is why we must be watchful. That is why we must understand the fundamental basis on which criminality exists. So my dear friends, we will stand with the people of Venezuela. We stand with the people who embrace justice, democracy, freedom, the rule of law, and the will to fight criminality and crush it in all its forms. So may God bless all of you. May God protect you. May God give you and your families a future and a year that is healthy, fulfilling, and successful. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here once more, and God bless you.
All of you, come on, let's stand. So we're all going to sing together at the count of 3, 2, 3. All of us are from Paramakatoi in North Pacaraimos in Patoro, Siparuni region, part of the Rupanuni in Essequibo, which is in Guyana, our lovely homeland. All of us are Guyanese, Amerindians though we be, all belong to Guyana, sweet land of liberty. Oh, all of us are from Paramakatoi. Patoro, Siperuni region, part of the Rupanuni, in Essequibo, which is in Guyana, our lovely homeland. Thank you so much. I didn't see anybody shake, and that's a really good, has a good.
Thank you very much, Sessional Chair. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President, colleague ministers, Honorable Bishop Juan Ejil, Minister Deodat Indar, Minister Pauline Sukai, our Chairwoman, Ms. Tarcelia John, our Tushao, Mr. Stephen Anisitos, and the councillors of Paramakatoi Village. Of course, Mr. Jack Mohan, CEO of International Import Supplies, who is the contractor. Other senior government officials who are here, special invitees. Most importantly, you, the residents of Paramakatoi and neighboring villages. A pleasant good morning to all. I am deeply grateful to be here this morning as part of this team being led by His Excellency to officially commission the Paramakatoi Airstrip. This is another realization of our government's commitment to continue to advance the lives of our indigenous people and those of us who are living in the hinterland as we continue to bridge the gap between the coast and the hinterland. This investment will directly improve the lives of over 1,324 residents of this village, and by extension, all the residents of Subdistrict 1, Region 8. This airstrip is more than just an infrastructure, far more than a strip that's used to land for an aircraft to land and take off. This airstrip represents connection, opportunity, safety, and respect. It represents the realization of this PPC's-led government commitment to ensuring that Amerindian people and our villages are not left behind simply because of geography or because of distance. Our government has made it absolutely clear by the investments we have made since assuming office that remoteness and our decision to remain in our villages does not mean delayed development or medical care or limited access to education and markets. Our connectivity plans for the hinterland in particular, whether by air or land, are enabling faster medical evacuations, reliable delivery of essential supplies, improved access to education, tourism, government services, and new opportunities for local enterprise, and of course, employment. This project being commissioned today would have directly impacted the lives of the residents through employment during its construction, and is the outcome of dialogue, partnership, and consultation with all the people of this village. This engagement and collaboration, of course, is rooted in EPIC, a cornerstone of our government's approach for inclusive and sustainable development. Our government has been investing in every sector to ensure that all Guyanese have the best possible quality of life. That includes, without doubt, us who are living in the hinterland. We have prioritized health, education, and livelihood as key. Our youths have opportunities for income and training, whether it's under the Pathway Program, employment, or the Board of Industrial Training, or under our CSO program, which currently includes 2,759 Amerindians across all 10 regions of Guyana. Our ministry will continue to support village economic development through our Amerindian Development Fund. We have invested a total of 16.7 billion alone in village and community projects under this Amerindian Development Fund since 2020 to date. These were implemented by villages, satellites, and communities like ours in areas such as agriculture, food security infrastructure, women and youth, tourism and hospitality, and land and water transportation. It is also useful to note that since assuming office in 2020, this government has increased the presidential grant allocation by 128%. This has enabled 253 villages with a total population of 107,622 to benefit from projects under the presidential grant alone. But what is important too is that these projects strongly supports, and what our government strongly supports, is that our villages decide for ourselves how these resources are used. My brothers and sisters, the commissioning of this airstrip today, much like all the other projects we have done, a few of which I have mentioned, does not mark the end of our work here. Rather, it marks the reaffirmation of our commitment to our forest people under the astute leadership of our President, His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. We remain committed to ensuring that we bring services, skills, ensuring that development reaches every corner of our country. We will continue to listen, to learn, and to walk alongside our people on this path of development. To the young people of this village, I wish to ask that you see this airstrip as a bridge to opportunity, not a departure from who we are. May it bring knowledge, skills, and experience back to our village, strengthening our future and the future of those who follow. I wish to commend and to applaud His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, the Ministers of Public Works, Bishop Juan Edgel, and Minister of Aviation, Minister Diorat Ilnar, the contractor, as well as all of the Tushao and all of the residents of Paramakatoi for making this vision a reality. We must recognize the invaluable work done. I close today with great pride, looking forward to our continued partnership in development. Thank you.
Sessional chairpersons, make no mistakes. I'm in support of His Excellency. I am not His Excellency. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Guyana's president and a fantastic leader. Let's give him a big hand this morning. My colleague, Minister of Public Utilities and Aviation, the Honorable Diorat Indar, Minister of Marine Affairs, the Honorable Sarah Brown Sadiq, Minister within the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, the Honorable Pauline Sakai, and the person who has political responsibilities to Region number 8. We have done lots of things in Region 8 together. To show my good friend and new regional chairman, we are pleased to have both the PS of the Ministry of Public Works as well as the PS of the Ministry of Marine Affairs, the head of the Special Projects Unit of the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Colin Gittins, Engineer Colin Gittins, councillors, other officials that are here, including the Director General of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority. He has to sign off and ensure that everything is okay for safe travel into Paramakatoi with the use of this airstrip. Colonel Howell, the head of NISA, and all the other distinguished people here, but more particularly you, the residents of this sub-district, and more particularly Paramakatoi. We had the privilege of meeting the children and younger people who have since gone back to school, and let me take this opportunity to say Happy New Year to everybody. Happy New Year. I know Paramakatoi is a praying community, and while I didn't understand everything that my dear sister was saying, I know she was asking God for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and blessings upon the President and the Cabinet as they lead the country. We thank you for your prayers, we thank you for your support, and we thank you for your kind thoughts that you put out every day. Being here today with His Excellency for the commissioning of this airstrip gives me great joy. I know Friday was the first working day for us in government of the new year, because New Year's was Thursday, we went to work on Friday, but today is Monday, the opening of school. But what a way to start 2026. Listen to the President's vision for Guyana 2025, 2030 and beyond, which he delivered so eloquently, giving clear policy direction and stating its strategic objectives. And at the bottom line of everything that he said and he is proposing to do over the next 5+ years is to bring greater benefits to people. This government is about people. Mr. President directed that myself and the Honorable Pauline Sakai, then the Minister of Amerindian Affairs, to go through the region and to visit with every community. And we did that over several days. What is happening here today is because we listened and we responded. This that is taking place here today, it's also a testimony that the National Touche House Council that we meet with every year is not just a talk shop. It's a place where Amerindian leaders could express the desires of their people. They could bring to the government's notice what are their priorities. And when a government makes commitments, we don't just say it, we do it. And that is why today is a big celebration. We have this project completed. But while we are commissioning this new airstrip, 2,500 feet by 50 feet wide, done with rigid pavement concrete, the good lesson about this is that while we awarded a contract for close to $800 million to the International Import and Export and Supplies, more than 50 persons from this village was employed throughout this project. And that is a shift in how development is taking place across Guyana. Because what would have happened in times past is that contractors would have gotten a contract, they bring in their people, and they work. But with this new policy direction that was initiated by President Ali and his government, that wherever it is possible, we engage people from the community during the life of this project. Close to 50 plus men and women were employed, and you did this under the supervision of the contractor, working every day to make sure you get the best. And just to remind, because some of the persons who are not under the tent and you're outside, you're standing or looking at another 2 kilometers of concrete road, which was done through the ministry's special projects unit. Our head of that unit, Mr. Colin Gittins, is here. And there again, we came to the village, we discussed with you your priorities, what you want, and then we engaged another 50 plus residents to work on the 2 kilometers of concrete road, which is also completed. In total, just over the last year, with the airstrip and with the roads, we would have invested close to $1.4 billion in your community. And that's something that you should be happy about, because we're not just talking development, we are bringing development. When we met and we discussed this project, bringing it into this level, the residents told us that if we're going to do this airstrip, we have to ensure that if there is an emergency, while the airstrip is closed, the nearest airstrip, the road to the nearest airstrip must be accessible for ambulances if we have to deal with emergencies. And we also put in place a project that developed the road between Paramakatoi, and Cato, significantly reducing travel time. And you were all very pleased about that. While this project was a 2024 project, and its completion in 2025, we did not start the project until the Tushao and the council give us the green light. We were mobilized, the contractor was on site, and then the Tushao wrote on behalf of the village, Mr. President, and that letter was delivered at the Tushao's council, asking government to hold on the construction to ensure that we don't start in the bad weather and the project is dragged out. But they will tell us, based upon their own local understanding of weather patterns, when to start. And once the rains were over and we got the green light, in less than 3 months, everything was completed here. And that is the way partnership works. I'd also like to take special time to thank Mr. Joe Jagmahan and the International Import and Export Supplies Company. Because when we brought him in to introduce him to the community and to engage, it was clear that he was a contractor that was prepared to walk with the community and work with the community. And I'm sure you're all very happy for the way he operated and the way he engaged in the community in a very respectable manner, ensuring that we had everything done in decency and in order. So please put your hands together for the contractor. Mr. President, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, this is just one of the many things that is happening in region number 8. Since we came to office, every year we have engaged all of the villages to do maintenance of roads, and those contracts were given to the villages, putting the money in the hands. And I think the term that they use is that the womandozer and mandozers were the people who fixed those roads, because we didn't have all the heavy equipment. That Minister Pauline was there with me. She said, we got womandozer and mandozer. Who just go and fix the road? And the interconnectivity was great. And then, of course, you're all aware, and the President spoke about this, he mandated us to ensure that we improve the connection in the North Pacaramas from Region 9 to Region 8. There are 29 bridges that we have to build. And when I went back and made our report, we sat right here with the village council, and they told us you could buy a bag of cement for $1,700, sometimes $2,200 in Letem. And by the time it reached here, it could go for $10,000, $11,000. And that was simply because of the cost of transportation, because of the condition of the road. We have done work, Yaramparo, Monkey Mountain, improving infrastructure, and with the direction of the President and resources that will be made available, just like we built all the bridges from Linden through to Letem. The bridges from Karasabai to Paramakatoi will all be built, and we will improve that road so that you can have a great connectivity. And that is the commitment that His Excellency would have made, and he spoke about it when he addressed the nation, so you should be aware of that. We've already spent about $194 million in maintaining and upgrading, but that's just a drop in the bucket for where we are going. So today, I want to thank you for allowing us to partner with you. Over the last 1 year, I made several visits here myself, engaging you and talking to you, and today to see all of you out here with smiling faces, I am very, very pleased. And I would like to say, Mr. President, the role that Minister Sokai played, even though it was not her ministry that was doing the work, she provided strong leadership, she provided good support, bringing people together, and would you help me to appreciate Minister Pauline Sokai for the work that she's been doing in region number 8. Thank you very much, Minister. And Mr. President, the indefatigable Nancy Ferreira is here today. Nancy has served every president that I know for the longest in Guyana. She has been at the office of the president. She's from this village, and she said, Minister, I understand that you're going to Paramakatoi. I said, yes, Nancy, we are going. And I'm sure Paramakatoi is proud of this public servant and the great work that she's doing to keep the wheels of government going every day. The distinguished Nancy Ferreira. Come on, give her another big round of applause. It's your own. Bring you great benefits, reduce cost of living. It will expand the tourism potential of this community. It will ensure speedier delivery of goods and services, whether it's in education, health, social services, because access is 24 hours every day. And I say that because on the runway now, we have the capability, should we require to land at night, we have solar that will be able to guide us in even at night. And that is part of bringing the development here. So last night they had a major rainfall in here. And look, the airstrip is dry. Long ago we used to have to be on the phone. How things looking there? It's blowing off. You got a whole little bit of body, you got to blow off. Right? I stay my job, we coming over to us now. But you could come at any time. Things have changed. And I want to assure all of us, President Ali, who you have extended his leadership to a second term, the energy and the commitment with which he has served in the first term, I can tell you, since he came back in, we ain't rest yet. Because he is not just cooling out, he is determined to do much, much, much more. And I close by saying to you here in Paramakatoi, you'll understand it better than any of us. One hand can't clap. The partnership, despite of the views, despite of the narrative sometimes that is given to you, once you could partner with government, like somebody told me today, we can get hotel with them high-rise and swimming pool coming to Paramakatoi soon. That's what the man tell me. You want a swimming pool and hotel we got like 6, 7 story, we could look out and so on. God bless you all. And let's keep working together. God bless you.
Thank you very much. The first time I was ever referred to as robot-like. Robotic. President Ali, colleague ministers Edgel, Sarah, and Pauline, Tushao, and the members of the council, DG for Civil Aviation, Mr. Fields, PSs, engineers, all invited. The children of Paramakatoi. My remarks will be very brief, and I understand what brief means. I was reminded by Pauline. But for the children of Paramakatoi, you know, a lot of the songs that we sing in the school, very patriotic, speaks about the land, speaks about the future, speaks about their role in Guyana. But the children of Paramakatoi, they should see this particular event as one where they are not forgotten. The village and the community satellite villages are not forgotten. This airstrip that the President himself is here today to commission, it should be a reminder that development has no boundary when it comes to the People's Progressive Party civic government. This Highland region has seen an investment of 800 million Guyanese dollars to build this 2,500-foot long airstrip. But it's just not just the investment that we should be seeing today, but it is an access to make sure the rest of the community is developed in a way that the people of this community want to see it developed. A few months ago, if you were to fly with a plane here, the laterite service would give you a not so smooth landing. In fact, for want of a better word, a rough landing. That is what we have been accustomed to for decades before. But now you have a concreted surface airstrip. Now, for the kids them again, the children, when your government sees the need to give accessibility, it tells you that the future is bright. It tells you that I'm not forgotten. This investment today started from a strategy of procurement. I can say to you, if it wasn't procured properly, it would not have finished in this timeline. There are those airstrips that started and cannot be finished, I must tell you. Cannot be finished. But because of when you want success, you have to plan before the project even starts. And whoever is the execution of the project will determine the failure or the success of it. And I want to thank the contractor, because an $800 million project could have easily become a $2 billion project if somebody else who did not have the capability would have gone and tried to get it done. That is why he brought a quarry here, to make sure the stone came from here. If the stone had to be transported here, it would have taken 2 years. The amount of stone, if it had to be transported to the community, it would have taken 2 years to bring the stone. The cement had to be moved from Karasabai to here. They had to clear 100 and something kilometers of road, 130 kilometers in excess of road to bring the trucks in with the cement. So the success of the project depends on the planning. And I want to say to you that the planning for the next 5 years started a while ago. Under the leadership of President Ali, when I was appointed Utilities and Aviation Minister, gave me a direct instruction. He said that do a situation analysis of all the aerodromes that we have in the country, 120 something and counting. That is what we have. And about 53 of them are actually operable. And out of the operable ones then, we have designed, we have engineered, and we have costed the projects, and shortly those will be going out to tender. But just to let you know, in Region 8, there are 8 aerodromes that we will upgrade in the new year, in this year's side. Madia, Orinduk, Chinapal, Kopina, Monkey Mountain, Korokobaru, Keto, Maikwak, Yorumparo, and Mount Taingana. Those are what is planned for Region 8, and that is significant investment into the region. Your neighboring region, Region 7, there are 16 aerodromes identified there. Region 9, there are 4 aerodromes identified there. Region 1, there are a number of them there that are currently being worked on, but we're also going to develop a few in Region 1 too. And 1 in Region 10, and 2 major airports. 1 in Latam, that the President has announced already, and 1 in Rose Hall in Region 6 that the President has announced already. So what you will have in the next few years in the aviation sector is some massive build-out of the aerodromes that we have in the country. which will bring investment, because all of these investments require material supplies, labor, as Jill said. It requires transportation and logistics, housing. It requires all of the folks from the community to be involved. So once the investment is made, the money flows into the community. And that is the philosophy and the policy of the president of this country. And that is what we are taking as vision and making it into a reality. I want to thank everybody who has been part of executing this project, the contractors, the engineers, those from the village, those from the village council. I want to thank you all for playing a part in delivering this project. The engineers from Mr. Akim Lewis and his team, thank you very much. Those who built the road connecting here, Colin, you and team, thank you very much. I just want to say to you that we'll be coming back here more often just to make sure that the development in the community continues to flow. This airstrip have an economic life of 20 years once properly maintained and taken care of. I think that 20 years life, the youths here will become adults and they will see this airstrip serving them in the future. Thank you and God bless you.
Good morning, everyone. His Excellency, President Mohamed Irfan, Honorable Minister Juan Ejil, Honorable Minister Diodat Indar, Honorable Minister Sarah Brown Sadiq, Honorable Minister Pauline Sukai. Good morning, all. Residents of Paramakatoi, school children, colleagues, friends, families, good morning and Happy New Year to you. Today marks a proud and important milestone for us, the residents of Paramakatoi and the wider region, region number 8. The opening of this new airstrip is more than an infrastructure achievement. It is a gateway to improve access, stronger connectivity, and greater opportunities for healthcare, education, trade, and development for Paramakatoi and region number 8. This airstrip will help bring communities closer, and let's continue to support the growth and resilience of our region and village. May it serve us safely and faithfully for the years to come. A huge thank you to our President and his cabinet for this great milestone. Thank you.
Excellently, under the contractual agreement of IIS, that is International Import and Supplies. Firstly, I must commend my Tushao and the councillors and mostly the residents here who have been working aggressively and assiduously in the completion of this lovely and marvelous runway that Our Excellency will be commissioning within a matter of minutes. Secondly, the contractor who had a contractual agreement to do the honors of taking the job, and IAS has been with us, the council, of doing their work, and of course they have shown that aggression as well. They were so progressive, and that is why our airstrip is like this now. And third and foremost, His Excellency, who would have directed the ministerial tasks on the public works, aviation, and other ministries to support the worthy cause of making this airstrip this reality. So on behalf of the government, which is my Excellency there, Her Excellency, His Excellency, thanks a great lot for doing a great job, which I know you will do again for the next year, 5 more years. And our dear friend, our Honorable Minister of Public Works, Mr. Juan Ejil, he's a very hardworking young man, and he has been traveling all through in the sub-region, telling us what we should do and we should not do in terms of doing projects like these. And most importantly too, our minister, former minister, I always call her my mom, Ms. Pauline Sukai, Honorable Sukai, who has been here with us for a number of decades. And thanks a lot. And now we have Mr. Indar, who's no visitor to us. And right now his portfolio would have been, as you know, public utilities and aviation. So Mr. Indar, you're part of this project and you have done a great job. And specifically now to our now incoming new minister, who's our best friend, Ms. Sarah Brown. I was told Sadiq in between or maybe before, I don't know, but our beautiful young lady, new minister for the Army Affairs, Ms. Sarah Brown. All of these persons somehow would have contributed for this project to be of great success. So, lastly but not least, Mr. Jack Mohan, who has been all over, but in respect of what, he has been with us, and he has touched every corner of the project to make it a reality. And I must thank the ground staff of Mr. Jack Mohan's International Import and Supplies to be here with us to make this project a reality. And finally, the residents of Paramakatoi. Those of us who work very hard, we work hand in hand to make this project a reality and make it a success. So all in all, that's my brief remarks on behalf of my Tushao, my council, my friend, my associate, IIS representative, and the contractor, and most importantly, our government, our ministers, and all hardworking people of this entire and beautiful Guyana. Thank you very much.